Good morning. I feel that I have to be present to receive. Is that necessarily true?
What do you mean? I have to be present to receive?
I'll give you an example. Like in my business, I usually do the work personally, and I've called forth that people pay me just for my name or just for being physically present without actually efforting. And I've been able to manifest an example like that, but I find that as time goes on, I'm having to put more effort into it. And I feel like I have to effort once the money comes in. I would like to change that belief so that I can just sit down and receive, because you've talked about our feeling of deserving, our feeling of, for lack of a better word, entitlement. We're entitled to whatever it is that we want to receive. I want to be able to receive like that without so much effort. I want to spend more time dancing and having fun than actually working.
Well, that's really what this gathering is all about, because so many of you are working very hard to justify your well-being. But let's talk about, we're talking about energy lining up. So let's talk about this in some detail here. You'll really hear this. So whatever you're living has caused you to offer a desire. And let's say that, as you said, your desire is to have dollars flowing to you at a very comfortable, dramatic, steady pace. But mixed in with this desire is you're wanting greater ease in your life, you're wanting more playtime in your life, you're wanting to attract other people in your business that can assist you, quality people. You're wanting to be known for your company as well as for your action. You're wanting to be known for your insight and for your methodology and for your processes and for your ability to attract others to assist you. In other words, we've described it pretty well here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you have this desire going, but you also have a set of beliefs. Now, the way you feel in any moment is always about the distance between what you believe and what you desire. So you've got this desire going, and then let's say that you currently believe that in order for dollars to really flow to you, that you've got to be there. Let's say that you don't have anyone that's really a leader like you are, and so if you're not present, it's really not going to be as sharp and clear and a satisfying result as you want. So under those conditions, you be there. Well, your being there is part of the alignment process under these conditions. In other words, you have this desire, you have these set of beliefs, and by taking this action, you are actually offering less resistance than if you stayed home. And you can tell by the way you feel that you're going and participating is a better choice, because in doing that, you feel ease. In other words, so you know you're lined up. So for now, it's the best you can do. But then as you go, once again, in your action process, you reaffirm, I really don't want to be here this much. Universe, I want others to assist me. So the universe yields to you someone, and it's really someone who is very, very good. And people are responding to this person in a very powerful way. And you're starting to feel a little uneasy because
I can feel it right now.
They like this person a lot, and this person has talents that even go beyond some of the talents that you have. You're not identical, and now you're feeling some kind of uneasiness. Even though the universe has yielded to you what you said you want, now what's surfacing is something else that was out of whack that you didn't even know was out of whack. So you say, oh, well, that person's out of here. And then you feel a little better relative to one issue, and now you're working too hard relative to the other issue, and you say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not in alignment. So you say, well, bring that person back, so that person comes back, and then you work on appreciating their talents, appreciating your talents. You come to recognize that together you make a better whole. You get a sense of what we're talking about?
Yes.
It's a constant process of bringing yourself into alignment. It's like, let's take the subject of food. So I want to be slender, and I want to eat that, but I believe that eating that will make me fat. Well, there's no way you can reconcile that. You can't hold this desire and these beliefs and that action and feel good at the same time. So you don't eat it and you feel deprived, you're still in a place of resistance. You do eat it, you feel guilty, you're still in a place of resistance. In other words, it isn't about what you do, it's about what you do with your mind that brings you into alignment, you see. And that's why we're taking a very new tack. In other words, these words are very, very new about letting the slender in, letting the well-being in, rather than trying to bag up the darkness and drag it away. Okay. It's about finding the thought that feels good when I think it. And a lot of people say as you do, well, I'm not wanting to work this hard, but I can't stop working this hard because this is the way that the dollars flow and this is what I brought my lifestyle to. So you feel sort of trapped by your own desire. As you say, now let's apply this to real life. Give us something real.
A legal matter, I'm representing somebody, and there are so many attorneys on the other side. We want you to do this, we want you to do that. If you don't do it, there will be sanctions, blah, blah, blah. And I just came into the case, trying to find my way around it. And what I was told in coming in was that I would be paid for my appearances and to use my name. Now, I know mixed in my vibration is, yes, I want to be paid that way. But part of my vibration is also, but if my name is on here, I have to actually do some work. So I know that I'm manifesting all these headaches. I need to close the gap between what I really want and, of course, where I'm resonating.
Can you feel the relief of letting go of the rope? Can you let that be a personal experience for a moment and feel what it would feel like to let go of the rope without factoring in what anybody else thinks about it? You see, that's the key. You've got to be able to do that without trying too hard to factor in what anybody else thinks about it.
Well, my way out that I've used in other situations is to challenge the universe to show me how to do that, and then to let the way for me to feel release come to me. So I guess I'll have to do that here.
So give us a little more clarification around that. We're going to get to the bottom of this easily here. Just ramble just a little bit.
Okay, what I really want is to just get paid for sitting in the room, or just get paid for looking over somebody's shoulder, or for coming up with an idea. That's what I really want.
Why? Why?
Because it'll be fun. And my energy can be spent doing things that are more fun to me.
Well, now let's talk about this a little bit. Do you remember being a little girl? And do you remember being in a room with adults? And do you remember having something that you wanted to say? And do you remember someone saying to you, just sit there and be in the room and don't say anything? In other words, is that really what you want? Do you really have nothing to say?
Well, I have lots of things to say. Maybe to be clearer, I would like to be in the room to say what I have to say, not have to lift a pencil, turn on my computer or anything, and simply get paid. I'd like to be able to take off on vacation, come back, and have checks sitting there waiting for me. That's what I want. And I know I can create that, because I think this situation here is my first step towards that. I can see parts of it that I want and parts that I don't want. So it's more about letting go of the stuff I don't want so I can move.
We want to put something in a very clear perspective for you, because there are about 200 people in this room, many of whom would give their right arm to be sitting in this chair. In other words, you should feel the vibration as the hands go up, and the desire is very powerful about, I want to be there. And yet here you are. In other words, we have to tell you that the vibration of your desire was really out there. And so here you had an opportunity to just sit in the room, keep your mouth shut, and yet here you are talking to us. In other words, you're interested in dialoguing, you're interested in understanding, you are interested in creating, you're interested in projecting thought, you are interested in being heard, you're interested in being known, you're interested in contributing, you are interested in co-creating. You get a sense?
Absolutely.
And so as we hear your words, we do not think that the words that you're speaking match up exactly with the vibration that we feel from you. We think that you are a creator. In other words, we think that the reason that you went into this profession to begin with is because you had strong desire. Can you remember what any of them were? There was, why did you choose this profession? Did you say, I just want to find something where I can be paid well and hardly do anything? Or did you have other reasons?
Well, I'm told that at the age of 4, I decided that I would be an attorney because I was tired of other people making the rules. Because I wanted to be heard, I guess.
And yet you just said to us, I don't want to be heard. I don't have anything to say. I don't even want to lift a pencil. I just want them to pay me for my presence. And what we want to help discover here is, how do you really feel about this? In other words, do you want to be a representer? Are there things that you want to promote? We can feel very strong current of desire within you. We felt it. It's why you're sitting here in this chair under these conditions. We can feel that You were born with very powerful intentions, and we can feel that, as you said, at a very early age, you sort of hooked into that desire, and the universe has been yielding to you in a powerful way for a very long time. Now we feel what has happened to you is that as you sort of got caught up in the gridlock or the nitty-gritty of all of the details, that there's just far more doing or far more action than you want. In other words, you're an idea person, you are an inspired person, you are one who is able to see the total vision, you are able to sniff out or get a whiff of what's really going on, and even on psychic levels understand it at very deep levels. You are an overseer, you are an overviewer, and we find that very commonly of those who come here to play with us. You like to plant the grass, you don't like to stick around to mow it. Someone put it into the in other words, you're sort of the visionary that is reaching out there. And we can still feel that. But we think that you are misrepresenting what you really want when you describe it as, I just want to sit back and not do anything. We think what you're saying is, I don't want to get bogged down. I don't want to argue with people constantly. I don't want to deal with the minutia of all of this stuff. I want to hold the idea purely, and I want to, on a vibrational or energetic level, move things into place, and I want to be responsible and a part of the uplifting process. I just don't want to get bogged down in all of the nitty-gritty.
That's exactly it.
If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would begin saying things like, the right people are coming to me, and the system is what it is, and I'm not single-handedly going to change it, but as I get more into vibrational sync with who I really am, the cases that are in sync with me will come. The cases that really have the meat in them that I would enjoy pursuing will come. The people that will assist me in dealing with the details of all of this will come. In other words, I'll catch my rhythm. Everything will be good. And in the meantime, what is the most interesting thing that I'm about right now? Or even when you are involved in this case, what's the most interesting thing about that now? In other words, keep seeing yourself as the high-minded overviewer. All of the masters of your society, no matter what their profession, we are vividly aware of every one of them. And we know that even in your specific desires, that you are multi-dimensional, you are multi-purposed. In other words, there is pleasure to be had from every detail of your experience. Esther loves, most of all, standing in this place and allowing Abraham to flow through her. It is the most energizing, delicious thing that she does. But you will be hard-pressed to find anybody who's having more fun in the computer than Esther is having, or more fun driving the monster bus than Esther is having, or more fun cooking a meal than Esther is having. In other words, there are all kinds of things that are really not up to par with who she really is in terms of what she has come to add value to the world, and yet there are many aspects to her life experience that are far from what she's doing right here and now that are equally in the moment pleasurable because there's not resistance in the moment of doing it. You get a sense of it?
Yes.
So we think sort of what's scrambled in there is some confusion about who you really are. We're not sure that you are sure who you really are. And at moments you catch glimpses of it, and at other moments you know that you're far from it. And we think that what you're fretting about mostly is that mode of not being locked onto who you are, not the details of what you're doing when you feel that way. Because the action is not what it's about. You can be locked on or locked off no matter what you are involved in the moment. And we think that what you're reaching for is for more locked-on moments, but you are associating them with action. Okay. And it isn't about action. It's about you making the choice as you are moving along.
Okay.
Yes. You'll hear much more as we are moving forward.
Thank you.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.